And pictures from the national capital that remind the entire nation of the ghastly accident which is still being probed. That is exactly how it was termed by the Delhi police. The hit and run case that the Delhi police has called it so far. But is there more to it? Could it be a murder? Remember, this angle that is still being probed by the cops. Anger that continues to grow, and questions being asked to the Delhi police, not just over the inaction that could have probably saved the victim's life, but also over the slow pace of the investigation. Remember, 48 hours after, when the police has now found the angle of a friend being there with the victim when the accident happened, and the fact that she fled the spot. Why didn't the police know of this in 48 hours? The last rites of the victim that will be performed soon as her mortal remains are being taken. And these are the people on the streets of Delhi. Some who knew her, but many who did not know her personally. They are outraged over the extent of this gruesome accident or crime that has been carried out, of how for 13 long kilometers her body was dragged on the streets of the national capital and no action was taken, of how the police did not take details seriously despite the fact that those who saw the body entangled in that car continued to call out to the police, but they showed no interest. And this just brings us to the very question of how safe is Delhi for women? 10 years after Nirbhaya, how is it that we continue to see such a gruesome crime, and those who are to protect and ensure safety of the national capital, those who are to go after those who break law and order, how is it that they were so careless that cost the life of the victim? There is a lot of police that is manning this ambulance in which the body is being taken.
शॉट दे रहे वो शॉट
Piyush, my colleague, is also on the ground. Piyush, we stay with these pictures and we obviously understand the fears of the Delhi police, who have had to face a lot of criticism and embarrassment over how they did not act. And the outrage that has been growing ever since this case has come to light. But the very fact that questions still stare at the Delhi police of how safe are women in the national capital. Such a gruesome crime after Nirbhaya, and the fact that the police just turned a blind eye for a good 2 hours that could have saved the victim's life. Of so many loopholes that have been very, very evident, that have been surfacing in the last 48 hours when it comes to the lapses in investigation of the CCTV tapes, and some of them having emerged today that are putting across the story of some of it, of what had happened, but really to find out if the 5 accused were responsible, if they purposely dragged her body, if they left her to die. When did she die? Could they have saved her? Why did the police not act in time? Piyush, please talk to me.
You know, there are several questions that needs to be asked
there are several questions that needs to be answered by the Delhi police, because the way this case has gone ever since it has come to light from the New Year's, there are several questions than the answers which we are getting. In fact, to begin with, the Delhi police first said that this is a clear case of accident, a clear case of unfortunate accident which led to the death of this 20-year-old. But later, it was revealed that there was more than an accident. After all, when a person is being dragged under the car for more than 12 kilometers, then definitely there are a lot of tough questions that needs to be asked from the authorities and from the law enforcement officials of why there was no action that was being taken at the appropriate time. Having said that, there is also now a lot of CCTV images that are coming out which shows that perhaps there is more than what definitely meets the eye, and there is more than what Delhi police needs to tell us. Today, the post-mortem report came out and it was given to the family members. In what can be a major relief for the Delhi police, the post-mortem report has revealed that there is no sexual assault. The family members also, initially, they used to say that this was a case of rape cum murder. But now, following the post-mortem report, the family members are saying that at least right now, they are going to accept what Delhi police is telling them, that there is no sexual assault. Having said that, they also feel that this is a case of a murder, and they do want the section of 302 IPC to be imposed in this case. I'm right now reporting from the crematorium of place where there is a huge deployment of police officials. It is over here that the final rites of this 20-year-old who died a very unfortunate death, is going to be finally laid to rest over here. And we hope that now her soul is going to get some peace, she is going to get justice, and more importantly, her family is going to get justice. While today she is going to be laid to rest, one thing is for certain, that the lot of twists and turns which are involved in this case will make sure that there is going to be no ending to this case for a long time to come. And it is going to be ultimately to the law enforcement officials to make sure that they do a thorough and impartial investigation in this case. Back to you in the studio.
All right, viewers, right now we are seeing visuals come in right now. Viewers, where the final rites, the final journey is happening of the Delhi hit and run victims, and those are the visuals on your screen, viewers, where you can see the mortal remains being taken to the crematorium. And this is happening right now as we speak, viewers. It's the final journey of the hit and run victim Anjali on your screens, and we are seeing that hundreds have also come out to demand justice. Now let's take our viewers exactly through what was happening a short while back. There was a post-mortem report which has come out. It's not the final report, but it really shows what injuries she has sustained. According to that report, it says that through blunt force or dragging, she sustained injuries to her head and her spine. Her injuries are not because of any kind of sexual assault. It is because of being dragged. Blunt force is the reason. But the victims' relatives have come out and they have said that no matter what the post-mortem report says, even if there was no sexual assault involved, justice needs to be served. He's appealing even to the Prime Minister, the President, for justice for the hit-and-run victims, saying that these accused, even if there was no sexual assault involved, they still deserve the maximum punishment because of what happened, the negligence, and how on New Year's Eve one girl, young girl, just a 20-year-old girl who was a breadwinner for her family, a 20-year-old girl who had a long life ahead of her, how she lost her life on New Year's Eve. So right now, viewers, you're seeing the visuals on your screen come in right now. The mortal remains are being taken to the crematorium, and many people coming out asking for justice. Remember, when yesterday Republic TV was on the spot when massive protests were happening, when there was a lot of anger against the Delhi police as well. How did this incident happen? Because remember, viewers, 31st night, New Year's is a time a lot of people come out to celebrate, but it took 2 hours. It took 2 hours from the first PCR call to finding the victim's body. Why? Why so long? Many questions being raised right now. And at 1:16, around 1 a.m., 1:16, there's a CCTV footage that we showed you, viewers, of the victim with her friend. They're having a fight. And there are also some, afterwards, we see that there are also some men who is talking to the victim's friend. And after that, around 3 a.m., just 2 hours after that, we see a CCTV footage of the car moving around, taking kilometers, being driven kilometer by kilometer, around 13 kilometers. We know that the car was being driven around with the victim's body being dragged. A very, very gruesome case right now. Of course, it's still in the investigation mode right now, but as per investigation, we know that the sexual assault did not happen. That's what the police is saying, according to the post-mortem report. And number two, we also know right now that Section 304 has been added. That is culpable homicide without intention to murder. That is a non-bailable warrant which has been slapped on the accused. So bail is completely out of the question, viewers. So right now we're seeing that hundreds coming out to demand justice, and we're seeing a lot of